Today's book is Unpack Your Impact: How Two Primary Teachers Ditch Problematic Lessons and Build a Culture-Centered Curriculum by Naomi O'Brien and LaNesha Tabb. This book was published in 2020. I grabbed this book because it looks short and I'm quite far behind how many books I'm supposed to read. From the title Unpack Your Impact, I wasn't really sure what I was going to expect when I read this. It's really about how to incorporate more social studies, so like social studies, sociology and cultural studies in like kindergarten through primary school, which I thought was quite interesting because given how globalization has gone and our ability to access huge amounts of information has increased, you would think that we know more about the world around us rather than learning about it less. And Naomi and LaNesha make the argument in this book that because we're so focused on STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we are losing there's less focus on teaching things like other people's cultures, learning about other countries, and these sorts of things. So I thought that was quite interesting. I used to teach elementary school and kindergarten when I lived in Japan, and I spent a lot of time teaching this sort of stuff. So it was quite interesting to see that the whole purpose of ALTs in Japan is to be sort of cultural teachers. So I thought this was interesting to look at it from there. She's in Canada and the United States, so I thought that was pretty cool. And sort of thinking to myself, how can I incorporate more cultural and sociological teachings in my classes for jiu-jitsu? So I thought that was an interesting sort of approach I should think about. And I read a couple of sections. Sociology helps kids connect to others on a human level. How can we expect students to grow up and care about the issues that are affecting people across a border or an ocean if we never help them to connect with them as people? We wanted to show our students that people all over the world, not just America, are inventors and explorers. We wanted them to know that others have holidays, languages, families, cultures, and stories to tell that were worth knowing and being inspired by. Sociology lessons can help our students become more culturally aware, thus helping them to be more accepting of the differences they see in the world. When students are able to learn, discuss, and understand how and why other groups of people came to be what they are today, they can begin to build empathy and acceptance for them and gain perspective. They can see themselves reflected in others. So yeah, I think in the days of populist sort of ideology, people are attracted to people of like rather than seeking out differences. And I know, for example, this section is pretty true for me. We can't remember many lessons from our own time in elementary school that left us wanting to travel to other countries. If anything, the lessons left us wishing we never ended anywhere else and feeling sorry for anyone who had to live there. When we were growing up, the lessons and images we most often saw about other countries made us sad that those countries weren't more like America. Looking back, it saddens us that we were not inspired to learn more about different cultures or appreciate them. We can recall seeing images of malnourished children in Africa, never a specific country, of course, which led us to believe for many years that all African countries and people were exactly alike. We were never exposed to the diverse food, languages, celebrations, landscapes, and beauty of each individual country. The lessons just lumped all Africans together, and the children were all shown in the same light, poor and in need help from Americans, specifically white Americans. Any other time Africa was mentioned in a lesson, the discussion typically revolved around exotic animals you'd see on safari. Africa was mentioned each and every February, but only as a place where enslaved people came from. Imagine the biases and stereotypes we and our peers built up towards an entire continent of Africa, all 54 countries included, because of a lack of sociology lessons that could have shown us more. Pretty interesting if you're a teacher, if you're interested in elementary school discussions of sociology. I think it's quite good if you're a teacher at elementary school or kindergarten, maybe even high school or intermediate school. And hopefully I can incorporate some of the lessons in my jiu-jitsu classes. But yeah, check it out.